In this episode of Ask Me Anything, I got a great question about the role of trigger points, knot formation, and using dry needling to get rid of all those problems. What's up, everybody? For those of you that don't know me, my name is Dr. Matt Maggio. I am the creator of the Peak Method and founder of the Soft Tissue Revolution, where we teach self-employed massage therapists a new treatment system that focuses on working smarter, not harder, allowing them to cut their treatment times by 50% so they can stay healthy and help more people get out of pain. At it for Ask Me Anything, I'm going to read the full question. It says, I have a question for you. Well, I had a client ask me what I thought about dry needling, whether or not I thought it was effective or not. Now, I do know that dry needling is used to break up trigger points, which I think are areas of scar tissue. Some people call the knots in muscles trigger points. Anyway, I thought I would ask you this question so next time I would have a great answer. Thank you so much for sending that question in, and I'm going to do my best to try to answer it. Let's start with just the idea of like trigger points versus scar tissue and adhesion in the muscle. They are actually not the same thing. I made a really in-depth video for that. So what I'll do is if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll link it up top. And if you're consuming this on Facebook or LinkedIn, I'll put that video down in the comment sections below. But basically what happens is trigger points looks like a normal muscle. So if we look at a muscle under a microscope and it's a trigger point, it looks exactly the same as a normal muscle. If we look at one with scar tissue and adhesion, it actually looks like there's a change in there. There's immature collagen fibers, all that kind of stuff, and that muscle becomes weaker and less flexible. The trigger point is actually a response to something happening. It's a chemical response, where the scar tissue formation is actually a physical and real change in there. So knowing the difference between trigger point versus scar tissue is really key and really important, because the trigger point is the effect of something that's happening, where the scar tissue is actually the cause, and getting to the cause of the problem instead of just trying to release the trigger point is actually going to cause you to get lackluster results and not get where you need to be getting results, because results rule, period. What we want to define is, what is treatment? Treatment. It has so many different definitions across the board, but I've really narrowed it down to a few things. What treatment is it reduces a pathology. There are only 7 potential problems in a musculoskeletal injury. It's a bone problem, a cartilage problem, a disc problem, a ligament problem, a nerve problem, a soft tissue problem, and a tendon problem. So your treatment should be reducing one of those pathologies. If it's not, you're not actually doing treatment. You might be doing some type of maintenance. Next is, the treatment must be safe, effective, and durable. Now, most treatments are pretty safe. Effective, that can be up for debate. You know, you might temporarily feel better, but is it really fixing it long term? The key is that durability. Is it going to be long lasting, reducing that pathology and getting it moving better? That's the true criteria for treatment. Number one cause of decreased flexibility, pain, and weakness in the body is scar tissue formation or adhesion formation, like I talk about. Basically, adhesion is like glue that gets inside the muscle, makes it very weak, very inflexible, and it causes a lot of problems in there. It also gets stuck to the ligaments, it gets stuck to the nerves, gets stuck to the fascia, and gets stuck to the muscles, and it causes a really, really big problem. Now, here's the thing about scar tissue. In order to break down scar tissue properly, you need proper depth, then tension. What I end up finding is too many treatment modalities, too many practitioners out there get way too much depth and not enough tension. For a visual aid this week, I wanted to bring out a rubber band. Let's pretend this rubber band is our scar tissue that formed. Now, here's the thing about this rubber band. If I need to break it, I can put it on the ground. I can jump on it. I can jam my elbow into it. I can drive it over with a car. I can stomp on it. Nothing's going to break that down when I'm just getting compression on there. What actually breaks down scar tissue effectively is tension. And not a lot of tension, just the right amount of tension in the right vector. So dry needling. Is dry needling going to get rid of scar tissue in the muscles? No, because think of this rubber band. If it's on the floor and we put a bunch of needles in here, is it actually going to generate any tension? No, it's not. Well, what about cupping? Hey, cupping, is that going to do it as well? You could sit here and suck that cup up into here, but it's not creating any tension. What it needs is proper depth, proper tension to break this down. Now, I know you'll get a lot of those skeptical people out there. Usually they're physical therapists that think soft tissue treatment doesn't work. And they'll say, there's no way in hell you could ever break down scar tissue in a muscle. It needs superhuman force. And they'll show you this study that went into the foot and the fascia, and they're like, it needs all this stuff. And then they don't understand that it's different between different areas in the body. And actually, to break down scar tissue in the proper way, it needs proper depth, then tension, and about 6.28 pounds of force. And that tension is what breaks it down. And that's the importance, is getting the tension on there. So is dry needling getting tension? No. Is cupping getting tension? No. Is deep tissue where they're just very stationary getting tension? No. Ask yourself, am I actually getting tension on there? That is what breaks down that scar tissue. Take homes here. Number one is just think critically. Use your brain. Start thinking and don't just jump right into treatment. So many people are like, oh, it's just tight or weak. Let's stretch it. Let's jam an elbow in there. Let's throw some cups on there, or throw some needles in there. You don't have a freaking clue about what's going on. Slow down and start asking questions and understand, why is that muscle tight? Why is that muscle weak? And get to the root cause of what's going on and apply the correct treatment and get in there and fix the problem for good, because so many people focus on the effect and not the cause. And if you're only treating the effect, that's why you're getting lackluster results. If you felt triggered by me saying cupping or dry needling doesn't actually create tension, just look at it from a factual standpoint. Get yourself a rubber band and understand that you can put needles in here. You can suck it up, but you're not creating tension. You need to create tension on here and break down that scar tissue, restore range of motion, restore function. That's what needs to happen. The tissue needs to get healthy, and trigger points are only happening because something else isn't working. So quit treating trigger points. Instead, find and fix scar tissue. Lastly, go revisit what I said above about treatment. Are you reducing a pathology? Is it safe? Is it effective? Is it durable? If it's not, then don't do it. Quit wasting time on shit that doesn't actually fix the problem, and do the things that actually work, which is getting proper depth and tension and breaking that down. That's all I got for the video. If you liked the video, give it a like, a comment, or share. If I triggered you and made a blasphemous comment about what you do, start to analyze why you're getting triggered. I'm just being factual and understanding depth and tension, depth and tension. That's what you need to do to fix the problem. Go grab our free training. We go through critical thinking, palpation, all that good stuff. Also, come take one of our courses, either online or in person, and get yourself into the path of becoming a true solutions provider, fixing problems for good, getting long-lasting results, and helping more people get out of pain. Appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.